interrupting something?
Man, Monroe, lay off.
Calm down, crewman.
Hey, don't you have a mission to go on?
What was that all about?
Specify deck desired. Deck 10. Launching Shuttle Andromeda. Specify deck 1.
What's wrong with you?
What are you doing?
That's enough!
Coffee, black. Klingon, blood wine. Albanian, brandy. Chateau Latour. Bergamot tea. Landrosblend coffee. Bergamot tea. Burgundy. Found on board the Dreadnought gunship, these vessels are fully automated fighters. The offensive weapons built into these craft are very impressive, but what made these machines so deadly was the artificial intelligence. Stored within each fighter is a vast and complex database featuring thousands of years of space warfare strategy. Disnodes are devices used by the Borg as a means of supplying communications to drones within a vessel. Once a drone leaves the vessel, it switches to far-range communications that radically increase the distance of the communication with the collective. Normally well protected and hidden within a Borg vessel, if a Disnode can be destroyed, it will incapacitate any drones linked to it. This mineral is a distant cousin to the dilithium crystals used to power Federation starships. Found on board the Dreadnought gunship, these energy crystals may be used as a power source for several alien weapons. Prolonged exposure to unshielded crystals can be hazardous to living tissue. The energy terminal is used aboard Borg vessels to resupply drones with the power needed to keep functioning when they are unable to use a regeneration alcove. Power stations are rare because they are used only in emergency situations when drones must function for an extended duration. Found on board the Dreadnought gunship, the Forge was a gigantic structure in space that housed the Vorsoth and his army of Reavers, super warriors grown from stolen DNA. It also generated a huge power-dampening field that stranded any starships within 149 million kilometers. The Forge was destroyed by Voyager when the intentions of the Vorsoth were discovered. This device was used by the Vorsoth to grow their ultimate warriors, the Reavers. Once the Reaver is at an adult stage, the chamber acts as a hibernation unit that keeps its occupant in stasis until needed. This is an extremely rare element that has the ability to regulate matter-antimatter reactions in the same fashion as dilithium crystals. Isodesium is not usually used aboard Federation starships because of its rarity and its relatively short lifespan. But the element was of use when it was discovered isodesium could function under the Forge's dampening field when Voyager's dilithium crystals could not. Vastly different from standard starship technology, the spacecraft built by the Etherians is actually a hybrid of inert materials and living tissue. This ship was grown and outfitted in space and feeds off the radiation produced by stars. It is not a sentient creature, but the ship does have a rudimentary intelligence, and the Etherians treat it with a respect that resembles parents caring for a child. This relic of days gone by was discovered on the Scavenger's base. Though a total wreck, the shuttlecraft was still an excellent chance to view technology over 70 years old. A plasma filter is part of the power network of a Borg cube. These devices are placed randomly throughout a ship to filter out plasma frequency deviations. It has been found that plasma filters are explosive if shot with a high-energy beam. More than just suspended animation chambers, these pods also act as medical equipment. A minimal crew runs a Dreadnought gunship, while the rest of the vessel is operated by a large number of maintenance robots. It is assumed on longer missions that the entire crew would be placed into suspended animation in sleep chambers, while the robots continue to operate the ship. Etherian teleporters act similar to dimensional doors and instantly transport an individual from one location on their ship to another. This is vastly superior to current Federation transporter technology, which requires the molecular structure of a body to be broken down and converted into energy for reassembly at a new location. The Vinculum is the Borg main processing unit used to connect an entire ship's crew to the Borg Collective. On October 4th, 1957, the culmination of a 238,000-mile journey that took 4 days. The eugenic occurring in the mid-21st century. The warp drive is the means by which Federation starships achieve faster-than-light speeds. In 2156, because of a dispute over territory, the United Federation of Planets was formed in 2161. In 2218, the Federation had a disastrous first contact with the Klingon Empire. It led to decades of distrust and violence between the two governments. Duotronics was a leap forward in computer technology invented by Dr. Richard. The explosion of Praxis in The Q are a race which exhibit godlike powers and near omnipotence, yet they seem nearly childlike in their playfulness and impatience. The first contact with the cybernetic race known as the Borg occurred in 2365, when a member of the Q continuum instantly transported the USS Enterprise D to System J-25, located only 7.8 light-years from Earth. Wolf 359 was the site of a tremendous battle between Federation forces and a Borg Cube starship. The outcome was disastrous, with the loss of 39 Federation starships and 11,000 lives. The Borg ship was finally defeated when the crew of the USS Enterprise D was able to implant a command launched in 2371 and featuring a bio-neural network computer system. In 2372, Tom Paris, helmsman of the USS Voyager, was the first human pilot to break the transwarp threshold and achieve warp 10 velocity. Because of an alliance made, the Big Bang, black hole, the Drake equation, dwarf stars, the galaxy, giant stars, light year, the Milky Way galaxy, nebula, planet, quasars, quantum stars, supernova, temporal rift, the universe, phaser, compression rifle, infinity modulator, scavenger rifle, stasis weapon, compound grenade launch, Tetryon photon burst, arc welder.
What the?
Auto-destruct
doing?
sequence initiated.
10,
That's enough!
9, 8,
Security access
Answer,
required.
you're committing treason.
6, 5,
That's it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Captain?
As you were, Ensign.
Excuse me.
Yes, Ensign.
What's wrong with you?
Hold your fire!
Specify deck desired. Deck 4. Transporter activated. Transport successful.
Crewman.
Sorry, I'm kind of busy here.
Specify deck desired. Deck 5, Sick Bay.
Hey, Monroe.
Excuse me. Ensign, I'm quite busy at the moment. Excuse me. Yes, Ensign. Doctor, you don't appear to be injured.
Watch it.
Specify deck desired. Deck 3. The quarters of Lieutenant Milana Torres. The quarters of Ensign Tom Paris. The quarters of Ensign Tom Parrish. The quarters of Lieutenant Bilana Torres. Specify deck desired. Deck 8, astrometric deck 2. The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim. The quarters of Ensign Harry Kim. The quarters of Ensign Alexander Monroe. The quarters of Neelix. The quarters of Neelix.
Excuse me.
Specify deck desired. Deck 4, Hat Deck 3, Officers Quarter. Deck 5, Deck 8, Astrometrics and Cargo Bay. Deck 5, Deck 9, Computer Core.
Hi.
Specify deck 4. Hazard off.
Just fix that console.
Quarters of Crewman Chow.
Mitch. Michael.
Sorry, sir. Kind of busy.
Excuse me.
Sorry, Monroe. No time right now.